Hey guys, check this bike out. This is a 1975 Harley-Davidson SX250 two-stroke enduro model that they put out in the mid-70s. This bike belongs to a friend of mine who bought it a few years ago and asked me if, just recently asked me if I wanted to try to get it going for him. So I might have my work cut out a little bit for me on this one, but I figured I'd give it a try since last couple bikes I've done, actually all the bikes I've done, I've been pretty lucky with they needed to get going, so they didn't need much. I was looking for a challenging project, and this might be it. I don't know. I mean, I think electrical this might be challenging, but the motor turns over already, so I don't think that's going to be an issue. Mechanically, it just probably needs the brakes gone through and stuff too, but cosmetically, it needs some help. So I'm going to do what I can mechanically on it to get it going, and I'm not going to touch the paint at all, especially on the fuel tank. And just try to clean up some of the chrome, I think, for him as well. But my goal here is just to get it going for him, get it running and functional, so he can at least ride it around and then finish it off and get it on the road again. But this bike's been sitting for a little while here. Looks like it was last registered in 2009. And by the looks of the chrome and stuff, it's probably been sitting outside that whole time. Seat pan's in really bad shape. Yeah, that's pretty rough. I don't think you're gonna get a new seat cover on there. You probably have to look for a seat pan because it does need a seat cover, as you can see. The exhaust is in really solid shape, aside from just the chrome heat shield on there that's got some rust on it. There's no holes that I can see, at least not yet, on the exhaust and muffler, and looks like it's all there. And the rims are got a pretty good coating of rust on them. There's the rear. These tires have seen better days. They're pretty dry rotten, and this one's flat right now. Chain is rock hard. I did put some lube on there, hoping it would loosen up a little bit, but that just might mean that the adjustment's pulled back too far on there by the looks of it right now. But chain guards there. We got the shocks. These can be cleaned up, I think. The fronts are a little worse than the rear, I think, for the rims and the rust and all that. But otherwise, it's pretty complete aside from some parts missing here. The ignition is frozen. Can't get that to turn. And the inside of the fuel tank does not look good either. I looked at this a little bit ago. It's pretty nasty. Underneath, I couldn't see if it had any rust holes at all. But I mean, it feels solid, but you don't know until you get that coating of rust away if it'll start weeping. And I'm sure this petcock's all clogged up too, so we'll get that apart. We'll get the carb off. Get that cleaned up, of course. And the motor does turn over. And it's got decent compression too. I did put some oil down the spark plug hole before I started doing this, but it does turn over. It's got decent compression, so I'm gonna have to look through the manual and see if this bike requires a battery to be hooked up to get a spark. Luckily, he did have the reprint of the shop service manual, which will come in handy for wiring diagrams and stuff. Big time. That'll help big time. And a parts catalog too. Kind of shows every bit of the bike in exploded view, which will be nice for looking for parts and all that if we go that route. So it's got this kind of stuff done to it, which I'm definitely going to need that wiring diagram for. So I'm gonna get the tank off and get a look at the wiring harness and see if I can start cleaning it up and trying to find the wires and stuff that I'll need for ignition. That'll be the first part, just getting it running. See if I can get some spark out of it. There's the air box there. Looks like there is a battery in there. I'm sure it's not good, but that'll at least tell me which kind we would need. Yeah, look how nasty this seat pan is. Pretty rough. Yeah, there's no way. No way you're gonna hook a seat cover up to that. It's got these oddball hubs on these bikes. I've never seen one like this, almost like a bicycle wheel. It's got the drum brake on the same side as the sprocket, which is kind of interesting. And it does have oil in the crankcase. I did look at this too. So that's a good sign. It's been sitting with oil at least in it. And according to the gauges here, 3258 mileage. That can't be right. And I know it's not right because here's the cable for that. It just snapped. So that's not doing anything. Who knows how long that's been broken for. So I'm going to have to get these wires figured out and try to get this tank cleaned up. But first of all, look at that wiring harness. Going to get this off, get the carburetor off, do all the normal stuff that I do, and we'll go from there. See if we can get this on here somehow fastened a little bit better. Got my work cut out for me on this one, so let's see what we got going on up here for. We got turn signal left. Got the lights high and low, horn on this side, okay. Oh, clutch feels pretty good. That's good. Like I said, the ignition is frozen on here. I couldn't get this to turn. I don't know if I got the right key for this or what, but I'm sure that could be bypassed for testing purposes and to get it running. And on this side, we got the kill switch and the right turn signal button. Interesting. So we got the throttles frozen up here. We got pretty much non-existent brakes. That's gonna need looked at. The throttle's probably the slide on the carburetor, if I would assume. The cables I'm sure need some lube too, but it's most likely this part here. Got some stuff to address on this bike, as you can see, but I think to get it sparking and get it running, I think I'm optimistic. I don't think it'll be too bad. So I'm gonna get that carb off first, get the tank off, and look at that wiring harness. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to get started by taking the seat, pulling the seat up, getting the tank out of the way, and getting a look at the wiring that's underneath there. Should probably get a tetanus shot before I start messing with this thing. There's a lot of sharp rust on it. That way. Cut that fuel line off of there. Ooh, that does not sound good. There's a lot of loose rust in there. That's not good. So this actually looks like it's not even bolted down. It just has those 4 little bumpers. There's 2 here, and then 2 up at the front where there normally is some, but there's no fasteners. Kind of weird. Listen to that. That ain't good. So this is pretty interesting. Looks like the backbone is like square tubing and must hold the oil injection tank in here too. So I'm gonna have to look at how that system's run because I'm used to it being in a separate bottle, like behind one of the side panels here, but the battery's behind here. There's obviously nothing on that side. So it must store it in the frame here somewhere, which is pretty cool. So the coil and stuff doesn't look like it's been hacked into or chopped up or anything, which is a good sign. I'm thinking it might be the lighting system that all those wires are cut for, and possibly the ignition too. Not sure, but that doesn't look too bad there. On this side as well. Like I said, I'll have to go through the wiring diagram and see what wires are for what. Hopefully these are all the right colors still, which I would assume they are. Doesn't look like it's aftermarket or anything, so doesn't look too bad. I think I'm gonna get the air filter out next, see if we got anything living in there. So to get this air filter housing out, there's actually, you have to take off, there's a clamp here that attaches to the rubber boot between the air box and the carburetor. And I guess that you just pop that off, then this whole unit just slides up out of here according to the manual. So I'm gonna give it a try. Actually, I think I'm gonna try to take it off by the front boot there, just so I don't crack that rubber. If I can get this to cooperate. It's already loose. Okay. Alright, that came out pretty easy. Boot's still in good shape, that's good. Oh, that looks clean. Let's see what we got here. It's sealed on there. It probably hasn't been years since that's been off. Okay, it's not too bad. See a dead spider in there, and that's about it. I expected it to be worse. Look at that, it's like a little mini car filter. Old school car filter. Old frame. Crusty dead spider. All right, so this doesn't look bad at all. This looks pretty new, actually. Put this back in here and put it off to the side for now. That did reveal what I'll be getting into with the carburetor once that comes out. Looks pretty crusty. All right, next up I'm going to loosen up this clamp and try to get this carb to turn a little bit so I can possibly take the top off and then just pull the rest of the carb out. And pull the top off so I can get the cable and slide out, but we'll see how that goes. That one seems frozen on there. That's an 8mm. There we go. So this carburetor is frozen on here. So you have to undo this clamp, which I got loose, and it just slides over top of the, I guess there's another metal protruding part out of the head here that's just the aluminum. So it's over top of that, and it is frozen on there. The manual says I should be able to just twist this off. So I'm gonna have to gently tap on it, try to loosen it up. I shot some lube down in there, try to work its way around that where it's attached to the head. So I'm just gonna take a piece of wood, an old brush, and just kind of gently see if I can get it to work its way loose here. Oh, here we go. Okay, that's good. I'm just gonna go back and forth with it a little bit. Oh, that's on there. Okay, so it's working. So my plan is to try to get this top off so I can see if the slide will come out, which I think is probably gonna have to soak because the throttle's stuck. So that's probably corroded in there, and I'm gonna have to probably, if I can't get it out there, I might have to take it out and just undo the cables up here and then pull it out that way. One would go to the oil pump and the other one goes to the carburetor. So I can take this assembly apart and undo it from here and then just have that piece of cable and just yank the whole carb out if I can. But I'm gonna try, I think, first taking these two bolts out on the top and see if by some miracle I can get the slide to come out. I'm always worried with these rusty bolts. Oh, it's coming nicely, okay. Sweet. Didn't break any, not yet at least. That is on there. Oh yeah, she's frozen in there. I'm gonna squirt some lube down inside of there and see if I can get lucky. We'll let that sit a little while, work its way down, and hopefully I can pull this off and just make it a little easier. All right, so I'll let that sit for a few minutes, and I think I might have actually gotten lucky with this. I was able to push the slide up from the intake end, and it looks like it's actually moving up now. So let's see if I can pull this the rest of the way out without breaking anything. Oh yeah, it was moving there. Trying not to snap the cable that hooks into the slide. I'm just gently pulling up on it. Looks like it doesn't want to go past that point. It moved up, so that's a good sign. I might try to gently tap it back down just to get it to move around in there a little bit. Yeah, that's what I wanted. See if I can pull this back up now. Got to move a little bit more too. Just kind of working it back and forth, loosening it up as much as I can. So And hopefully it'll just pull out. Getting a little further each time. It's almost out. Yep, a little further each time. Just gotta have patience with it, I guess. There we go. Oh yeah, look at that. Some corrosion on there. Oh, it don't look pretty in that carburetor either. I'll show you here in a second. But that's been sitting in there for a while. Needle's pretty much corroded too. It's gonna need some thorough cleaning. Check out the inside of that. Not pretty. Can't wait to see what's in the bowl. I think I finally got this thing to start backing off of this bushing that's on here. Took a lot of going back and forth, hitting it this way, hitting it back that way, shooting some lube down in there, but it's finally starting to budge now. I couldn't move it by hand before. There we go. Oh, look at that. What a pain. And why they designed that like that. All right. Carburetor is out. I'm sure this one's gonna be a crusty one. Ooh. Yeah, that's a lot of the penetrant oil that I squirted in there. Check that out too. That's where the fuel inlet is, and it is 100% blocked up with just crusty fuel and rust probably. Before I get to that, I'm just gonna block off the port here and clean up some of these leaves and debris that's left over here. So I'm kind of curious to see what comes out of this tank when I shake it around and get whatever is bouncing around in there out. I'm expecting a lot of rust. Oh my. It's pretty bad. somebody looks like they put rocks, unless this is like petrified varnish, but it looks like there's rocks in there. So maybe somebody at one point was trying to clean up the tank, or someone just was putting rocks in the fuel tank for some reason. But there's rocks in there. That's what was making a lot of that noise. But there's also a lot of rust too, as you can see. So I'm not sure if this one's going to be savable, but we're going to try it. Do the metal rescue. Probably going to do the metal rescue. I might still do the vinegar, but I think this needs something a little more harsh. So I'm going to try that, and we'll see if it starts leaking. Hopefully it doesn't, because it would suck to have to try to source a tank for this thing. A little bit closer look at what was in that fuel tank. Lots of rust flakes, and then these rocks. Unless, the other thing I was thinking too, maybe someone tried to seal the tank, and maybe it just pulled up at the bottom and got rock hard. It looks like a rock, but this one's definitely a rock. I can tell. I mean, this one is a straight up rock, and this one's that white, I don't know if it's petrified fuel tank sealer or what, but that could be a rock too, I don't know. But either way, it needed cleaned out big time. Lots of junk in there. You got the carb here. Looks like they just have this one bowl nut on the bottom. There's no screws around the edges like I'm used to dealing with. So I'm gonna get this off, and hopefully this just pops off and I can save the gasket and all that stuff too. Don't have high hopes right now with the way this looks, but we're gonna give it a try. Of course that's gonna be on there. Of course. Ooh. Got some major sludge going on. Tap that off for sure. It's coming along with some nasty fuel. Yikes. Look at that sludge in there. Whew. Yeah, it's definitely need an ultrasonic clean here. Probably end up taking it to my buddy's and see if I can use his ultrasonic again. I need to get one of those myself, by the way. But look at that. Oh, man. Oof. Look at that. It's just complete gelatin. That's bad. Ooh. Yikes. That's, I'm assuming, dried up premix oil. It's like greenish blue. I mean, the floats are frozen on there. They don't want to move at all. Wow. Just going to try to spray a little bit of carb cleaner on here and see if I can get past some of this gunk. Start taking some of these jets out at least. All right, I guess I'm going to start with this one, whatever that is. Let's see which one that is in the manual. That was actually loose. I don't know if that's a pilot jet or what. It looks like a pilot jet. That's pretty bad. Yikes. I don't think that one's the pilot jet. I should look in the manual. That one don't want to budge. Yeah, that's definitely the pilot jet there. Afraid to push on that too much. I don't want that breaking off. Really don't want to force anything, because I can't imagine parts for this would be easy to find. This is some kind of jet too. Let me see what that is. I'm curious. So it looks like that is number 22 on the diagram. That is the starting jet. Okay. And then let's see. That little one I was trying to get out, 25 low speed jet. I'm assuming that's the pilot jet. That would be this one here. Yeah, this carburetor is pretty gunked up. It's going to need to soak. I'm going to do a quick compression test on here too while I got the carb off. And that'll simulate wide open throttle. And we'll see what kind of condition this head's in, or rings. All right, I'll leave this here. Get a look at that. All right, let me give it a couple kicks. I'm getting a roughly, I'd say like maybe 80. I'd say it's close to 80. I've had my other bike start with less than that, so I think it's a good sign at least to get it to run. It's probably not going to run too strong, but like I said, I had my DT2 only came out with 75 PSI, and that thing runs, and it runs pretty good, I will say. So maybe the rings are just stuck. Maybe it'll loosen up after I get some more oil in there, and after I can get it to fire up. So I guess we'll see. So before I wrap up this video here, I am going to see if I can at least get some spark out of this thing. So I got a little helper here with me. Just came down to check on some things, but yeah, I figure see if I can get lucky. I'm going to pull that plug and give it a couple kicks just to see maybe if I get lucky it sparks, and then it would just be a matter of cleaning the fuel system out. So here we go. I don't even know if this plug is any good. This is actually, looks like a Harley-Davidson spark plug. So this might be original to the era at least. So I don't know if they still make these or what, but see if it still works. It might not even work. I might try a different plug too. Let's see if we get lucky here. I've been lucky too many times with getting these bikes going. I think the last few times that I'm due for one that's going to be stubborn. So let's see what happens though. Get this moved over here. All right. So I'm hoping the ignition is in the on position. Let's see, run is on the switch. Let's see what happens. I'm going to turn off one of these lights here so I can see if there's any spark. I'm going to turn them all off. Leave those ones on. Okay, let's see what happens here. Nothing. I should have probably tried cleaning this plug off. Nope, no spark. Alright, I'm going to try another plug. So I found a cap for one of my NGKs. Just going to throw that in here. Nothing. Figured I couldn't be that lucky, but I wanted to try. Alright guys, I think that's where I'm going to leave off on this video. I just kind of wanted to get a head start on this bike before my, I got a Halloween party I got to throw at my house here. So I got to prep for that, so I got to kind of cut this short. Just wanted to get it going at least and get the wheels in motion. Glad I got this carb off at least because it was frozen on there. Gonna have to soak that carb to get those jets out and stuff. And I think I might just try to put it in an ultrasonic cleaner the way it is, and then maybe try to pull them out and do like a second cleaning. I don't know. It's going to definitely need a thorough cleaning because it's really bad in that carb. And we got the fuel tank off. We got to see how bad that rust was in there. And so it's a decent start to this project. If you're still with me, thanks for watching. We'll pick back up on the SX250 here. So thanks, guys. If you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button. Leave me likes, comments, all that stuff. Goes a long way to help the channel. Thanks again, guys. We'll see you in the next one.